53. The Thunderbirds in front by 5. Sanchez moving up to Riley. These fans have been on their feet most of the night tonight. Incidentally, when the game is played in your town, as it will be one of these days, the best place to see it is right out on the edge of your seat. Number 16, Art Solis from Texas. Number 8, Greg Robertson for the Thunderbirds. Whoop! When you hit the rail, you might as well stay there, Greg. Trotter calling for a key block up in front. Number 16 is the coach. Number 16 is the jammer. Number 17 is the coach. There's one. They open it up. Solis rides in there. 4-3. And that shortens it up. 58 to 56. Thunderbird lead cut to 2. Sanchez kneeing and roughing. Jim Trotter finds himself in hostile territory and decides to back away. Live to fight another day. Look out now, look out now. Sid Harness, the referee, trying to keep these two apart. He says, join the pack this time. I don't want to send you out. Greg Robertson gets out. And a whip for Greg Robertson, and Johnny Velez goes with him. Robertson is railed and won. They had a 2-on-1. Sanchez and Trotter doubling up on Danny Riley. The Thunderbirds have been taking some thumps and lumps from these Outlaws tonight. A rugged team. Timeout, the Outlaws. Whoa, Jim Trotter called timeout. He's trailing by 1. 58 the T-Birds, 57 the Outlaws. Is ordered to form and skate. 6 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the game. The score's tight. 58 the Thunderbirds, 57 for the Outlaws. And this is, believe it or not, the first game in a 6-game series. And later in the week on Friday and Saturday night, match race. Anything goes with Shirley Hardman and Terry Lynch going 5 laps of the most grueling, rugged racing you can imagine. When you say anything goes, that means anything goes. Now, these two haven't matched in a match race in over 2 years. And believe me, this is the one. That'll be worth the price of admission alone. Jim Trotter on up. Breaks through for all of them. Got 8. Little Larry Lewis was out of the pack, but at a 10 spot going, they got 8 of them. And they take a good Husky lead now, a 7-point lead. 65 for the Outlaws by virtue of that 8-pointer. 2 jammers out, got 4 each. 65 to 58 for the Outlaws in front. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the whole game. You know, match racing has become the way of settling disputes that don't seem to be settled any other way on the track in this league. Little Angie Rossetti, that's the mascot of the Thunderbirds, one of the most lovable little characters anywhere. You've seen him and enjoyed him in at least 150 pictures. And 1 jammer working. Number 16 is Art Solis for the Texas Outlaws. They've got a 7-point cushion. And Danny Riley, Thunderbirds, blocks high. He goes to the head, and again to the head of Solis. Well, all the roughing isn't on the part of the Texas Outlaws tonight. The Thunderbirds are coming back strong. Here's a reverse block from Eddie Payne. He hip checks him out. Jump block took him out. No score for Solis and the Outlaws. Rick West comes into the lineup. That's Art Solis. He's picked up by Johnny Velez, number 15. Both teams are at full strength here. West has got to join the pack here. As soon as he gets on, they can jam. There it is, the whistle for the jam. The Tiger Sanchez guarding the front of the pack. And they whip the big man, Trotter, out of there. Little Larry Lewis, the baby, took him out. Larry Lewis, the little man of the team, took out Trotter. So Greg Robertson, number 8, comes up in scoring position. Ooh, look at those defenses. How'd you like to meet those on a dark night? They're not going to let Riley get back. He gets back anyway. Riley back to assist. His team trailing by 7. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. They slammed the door on the jammer. Riley got through. They're working for a reverse. That's 2 for the kid, but Sanchez is going with him. That's 3. That's 4, and he got them all. He got 4. There was a jam. Ooh, brother, he went straight over on his back, out onto the cement in the aisle. And timeout immediately is called by the Thunderbirds. Doc Engstrom hurries over there. Timeout is called with the score now 65 for the Outlaws, 62 the Thunderbirds. Back to the action. During timeout, Lou Sanchez, number 13, the Tiger in the Texas Outlaws, got fresh with referee Rodriguez, and they threw him out of the game with just under 3 minutes remaining. And Big Jim Trotter, the coach, is still complaining, but they threw his big man out. Here we go. Trotter and Eddie Payne. Eddie Payne, he tried to call it off to protect the 3-point lead, but he was too short. Eddie Payne got ahead of him. Only the leading jammer can call it off. Trotter tried to protect that 3-point lead. Riley back to assist. Now they got to pile him out there. He goes along the top for 3. And that ties it up. That ties it up. With 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in the game. Now this is sudden death in the next minute and 50 seconds. Except those who have been banished, including Shirley Hardman and Lou Sanchez. And Terry Lynch. Here we go. Larry Lewis getting out there with 2 Outlaws with him. He's got to hurry to get by Big Jim Trotter. He sits out, fools him. He fooled him with a sit-out. He hasn't scored yet. Riley's got to go back to defend against Velez. Eddie Payne has got to engineer this play. We're still tied. Riley keeping the double jammers off here. Up along the top. He's in. He picks it up with 52 seconds remaining. He picked up 3. Riley sits out with a bulldog with the 2 opposing jammers, but it was after it was all over. 40 seconds remaining, 68 to 65. Looks like the boat has sailed for the Outlaws. They need 3 to tie, 4 to win. And Trotter screaming at his team. Number 17, he is boiling. One of each Lynch in front. There it is. The whistle blows for the jam. 20 seconds. Have you got a 20-second jammer here? If there's got one, it's Jim Trotter. Little Larry Lewis, the baby's with him. It's all up to Riley now. He's got to protect that three-point lead. And look at him go at it. This is only the first game in the series. Eddie Payne went back on a reverse to take him out and saved it as the gun ends the game. There it is, and the Thunderbirds win it by a squeaker. 68-65. We'll have a wrap-up in a minute. Listen to that. The final score, 68 for the Thunderbirds, 65 for the Outlaws. Well, there you have it. Despite a lot of evictions and penalties, there was plenty of penalties piled up against them. The Thunderbirds squeaked out a win, 68-65 over the Texas Outlaws in the first game of a 6-game series, which during the week will show us a match race between Shirley Hardman and Terry Lynch, which should be really something to see. And next week comes the great, powerful Detroit Devils with John Hall and big, powerful Tuffy Brassoon. And a fine defensive team, Thunderbirds, will have to meet next week. So we've got a lot of excitement coming up, so be with us each week at the same time here. We want to remind you that this big game coming up next week at the same time will be the Detroit Devils. John Hall went to a draw, 3 games apiece in the last time they appeared against the Thunderbirds. Well, there you have it, 68-65, the Thunderbirds win it. And that has been Roller Game of the Week. I'm Dick Lane, delighted to have been here. It's a Griffith's Lillian Hill production. This program is authorized by the International Roller League solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of these pictures, descriptions, or accounts of these games without the written consent of the International Roller League is prohibited. Roller Game of the Week is another major sports presentation of Golden West Broadcasters.